Welcome to Talk Sporty to Me, a Sports with Aliyah talk show. I am so excited about today's guest because she radiates girl power and I just love everything that she's doing, and it is Makenna Miller.
I don't even know what to say. Okay.
I know,
Just
it's
say hi.
it's a different environment, but welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and so you just got back from your first ever competition, so can you just tell us a little bit about what you do and how your competition went?
Okay, so yeah, my competition was about a month ago. It was one of the best experiences that I've had. Just like the entire environment of just like bodybuilding is so empowering and uplifting. It's really hard. The whole prep part is hard, but like show day is amazing.
Mm-hmm. First of all, how did you get into it?
How did I get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I played volleyball for a season at Wichita State. It was fun, but it was just kind of like not for me. I was like in a weird place in my life. Like I was just like, I felt stuck. I just felt like I wasn't like getting anything done. And I really loved like the lifting part of everything. And so I decided to quit volleyball after the season ended because it just like wasn't making me happy. And I just felt like I had more of like, I could make like a bigger impact somewhere else. So I decided to quit and go on to bodybuilding. I wasn't actually gonna do it. It took me a couple months. Like I started like my whole fitness journey in January. But it took me a few months to just kind of realize that, I wanna like push myself and kind of do something for myself instead of like, I've been focusing like on Instagram and everything, just trying to uplift other people, which is like what my brand is. Like I love that positivity and everything. But then I decided just like, you know what, let's try to do something different. So I ended up getting a coach, Danny, he's local, and then his fiance, she was my posing coach. So it kind of all worked out, just kind of started and just to see like what I could do. But
yeah, well, bodybuilding is just it's kind of a daunting task. It's not something that everyone can do. So where did you find the motivation to be like, okay, I can actually do this? Because that is scary to start doing that.
It was really scary just to like, I just needed to pull the trigger, like just say, this is what I'm gonna do. And usually like deadlines, I love deadlines for myself. Like setting deadlines is like the easiest way for me to get things done. And like the motivation part, I think I kind of always just have like that motivation because I've always been an athlete, like dual sport. And I've always wanted to be like involved in something. And so I felt like the motivation came within, and like finding progress, like seeing progress in my body was crazy. Just seeing that like, I can do this, and like actually knowing how to do it by having a coach, like knowing and being guided by someone helped a lot. Like that's what kept me like motivated.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how do you get, I don't really know much about this sport yet, so how do you find different competitions to go to?
So that is like my posing coach. I talked to her about it because I had no idea. I was like, I don't know which one I'm gonna do. So there are a ton. Like there are different. There's like they're kind of like sectioned off throughout the country. So it's like there's some that are like put on by like Mayhem Productions, and that's like a different like federation, or not a federation, but like a different. What's the word? I'm trying to think. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
They're put on in like different areas. So there's like some that are up in the Northwest,
like
and there's
regions.
like regions. Yeah. That's the word. Regions. So they're all like different areas. So there's some like South, and they're all put on by different companies. So I was just like, I want to do a local one. It was in Kansas City, so I still felt like comfortable. It was just like a short drive, and so I decided to do that one. And I had a time limit, so I had to wait and see like if I could be ready in 12 weeks. So honestly, I wish I would have done longer than 12 weeks, because 12 weeks was like a lot of people can do it, but it's just like starting, you want to give yourself time. So that's kind of how I picked. I was like, okay, 12 weeks out is this show. So yeah.
And that's a ton of preparation, like you just said. So what does prep look like for you, and then kind of the differences between being in preparation mode and then being in the off-season mode?
So starting prep, when I started with my coach, I had to like tell him everything that I was eating, everything like at the time, like how many calories I was consuming, and like kind of how my diet is, which my diet wasn't the best. Like it was good, and I tried to eat healthy, but like 70%, it was 75%, it was like healthy, but the rest was like, I love sugar. So like it was like anything that I could get my hands on. So I told him that, and apparently I was eating in too low of a calorie, like it was like a caloric deficit. And so he had to build my calories, and I had to start with high calories so that I could put on more muscle. So that's why I wish I would have had more time, because I went through a bulking phase, and then I had to like completely like cut.
Wow.
So I ate a bunch of food at the beginning, a lot of carbs, a lot of protein, and just like trying to get my metabolism up, because it was completely shot when I started, because I wasn't eating much, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I was doing a lot of cardio, you know how everyone struggles with that. And so I did that, and sorry, I'm like rambling.
Oh, you're fine. It's all interesting.
Yeah, it's so hard to like, because it's so long, like it's like a long process.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I want to say like 6 weeks out, it was more of like the cutting phase.
Okay.
So I would like be in more of a caloric deficit, have carb cycles. So one day I would have carbs, and then one day I would have like a little bit less, and then the next day I wouldn't have any. So I did that for a while, and then the last 2 weeks was just like the same food, like chicken and asparagus, or chicken and zucchini, egg whites, stuff like that. But I love it, so it wasn't that bad. Like I like that kind of food, so it wasn't awful. But yeah. Yeah,
and when you're prepping for everything, you mentioned already that you've been an athlete almost your whole life, so you're very good at staying on top of yourself. But when it's so crucial to follow the eating plan and the workout plan, how do you just stay on top of yourself and keep yourself on to the plan?
Having that deadline really helps. The deadline is like, that was like, because now that I don't have a deadline, it's really tough.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, ooh, cake. That looks good.
Yeah.
But no, so having a deadline helps a lot for me to stay on track. Having a coach, keeping myself accountable was what really helped, because we check in every single week. So we would send front, side, and back pictures every single week, just so that he could check your progress and keep you accountable. And so I think that's really what did it, just accountability from like other people. And especially because I made it public, like that I was doing it. I had to make sure that it was like, okay, Makenna, like people watch what you do, like you need to like do this for yourself. And obviously I wanted the best results that I could. So that's kind of what happened.
I know the feeling though, because like when people know what you're doing, that keeps you accountable right there, because people will be like, hey, how's that going?
And so like with all your stuff and like content and stuff, like people need to make sure like, where's Ayla? Like where's her stuff?
But so kind of speaking about your following and everything, I know a lot of people love following you for multiple reasons, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but a lot of people at home are into meal prepping, not even if they're bodybuilders or anything, but that's just a healthy lifestyle. So can you give us some pointers about meal preps and what you're supposed to do for that, even for your regular life?
Okay, so I did like a story a few days ago about kind of like lifestyle type of prepping. So really just to like, you need to set like a day and just like sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna make chicken, I'm gonna make rice, asparagus, egg whites, whatever you want to do. So you just kind of have to like have like a set plan and just write down like what you're gonna do. So like my mom helped me a lot with this too, like during prep, was just like writing everything down and helping measure everything. But just write down what you want and like what you like. Like you can put certain foods in there that aren't super healthy, and you can like make them fit, and it's totally fine. So I would just write like how much, for lifestyle, I would just do like chicken for lunch with asparagus and a little bit of carbs. Or like around your workouts, like you want to eat more carbs near your workout before and after your workout instead of like in the morning or late evening, just because that's when your body needs it the most. So like it won't store as much of the carbs either, so it's a lot better just eat it towards your workout, even lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of, I mean, tips. I don't know, what else is there? What else do you?
Just like even shopping, like how do you know?
Shopping.
Yeah, and cooking and just staying accountable, like you said, that's just a big theme with everything that you do.
Yeah. Shopping is, I'm lucky enough to be able to just go out and like, this is what I need to get.
Yeah.
And so I guess just getting the healthy foods and keeping the non-healthy foods out of the way.
Don't even bring them into your house.
Don't bring them into the house.
Yeah.
No, that was the hardest part because like none of my family really, like my dad preps and stuff, and my mom will like go through phases of like eating salads and like prepping and stuff, and then but like having those, like everyone in our family has that sweet tooth, and I'm like I'm ashamed for it. Yeah, so I just saying no to the M&Ms sitting in our in our cabinet, but yeah, it's really hard. Just like if you don't want to eat junk food, keep it out of the house.
Don't even bring it in.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect. And then, you know, you're in a sport where your body is literally everything, and that's like what the sport is revolved around. So how do you stay body positive if, you know, results aren't coming
That's a good one.
Thank you, like as fast as you would hope, or you know, you're not exactly on target? So how do you just remain body positive?
Okay, so that is a really good question because all through prep, I was an emotional mess.
Yeah.
Like I would cry. I would be on the Stairmaster crying because I was like, I'm not gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Like this is awful. Like my body's not there. But no, you just kind of, it's all about the support group, really. Like who you have around you. Like I know you were a huge part in like just being like in my support group.
Yeah.
A lot of like my family, they were always there for me. And I had a ton of friends, like my best friend, she was always like, do you need help? Like she would help me meal prep sometimes. So it was like really nice having like a good support group and like, making sure you're still getting that positive vibe coming in, even though like I'm trying my best to like portray it. But just staying positive, like your body changes so much that you don't even know.
Yeah.
So like I could wake up one day and be like 5 pounds lighter and like you wouldn't know it, but like in that day you're like, oh my God, I hate myself.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to stay positive, but you kind of just have to just think like this is what you chose to do, and like this is a great opportunity. Like you're lucky to be able to do this. Like you just got to stay positive in that way. But like off season, your body changes a lot because you are trying to put on more muscle. So putting on more muscle, you're gonna put on some more fat, which is like normal. So just staying like positive, like you're gonna get there. Like this is all the process. Like off season is, I haven't experienced it yet because like I'm in it right now, but I'm not on a strict diet.
Yeah.
So off season is just your time to grow. So you just have to remember that it's your time to grow. Like you're going to get there. You just have to trust the process. And that's what everyone was telling me. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Like you'll be okay. But like body positivity is just a huge thing. You just have to like love yourself basically. You have to like not in like a conceited like cocky way. Like you have to love like your body is here and this is like your temple. Your body's your temple. Like
Exactly.
you have to love it. Because you live with it like every single day, so it's gonna be an awful life if you hate yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I just love that you're just that vulnerable with me, telling me that there are times where you're very down on yourself, and I know that so many people look to you for inspiration because even just following you on Instagram, you're always lifting other people up, posting quotes, talking about your life, and just being so positive. So it's cool that people can see that you're a real person and you have emotions, and it's okay to, sometimes get down, but then always bring yourself back up. So you mentioned earlier that your brand is to be that positive influence. So can you just talk a little bit about that and why you chose to go with that being your main brand and what you're doing, and how did you get so into kind of motivational influencing?
So with that, I just hate being surrounded by negativity. I don't, like, yeah, I complain too, but I hate, like, complaining and just, like, saying that, like, I don't know. I just think that living life in a positive way is so much more fun than sitting around, like, moping and just, like, oh, life sucks. Like, yeah, life sucks sometimes, but, like, you got to make the best of it, and I think that there needs to be more people like that, like, more people that want people to be happy, that want people to succeed, and that's another thing, is like, I want to see people succeed. Like, we're all here, we all might as well do something with our life, like, that makes us happy. And so yeah, I just really love being around positive people. I know that when I am just, like, around negative people, I put out that energy too, so it kind of, like, as long as I stay positive, I'm gonna portray and, like, help everyone else be positive.
For sure.
But that's kind of, I don't know. I mean, you're really good at that too.
Thank
so
you. I feel like that's why we like each other
I
so
know,
much. Like,
I know.
girl power, positivity. It's just great. And even business, I feel like we're both businesswomen, because you have turned now your lifestyle and your passion into a business. You just got back from California and getting to literally travel to have fun and do what you do for your life. So how did you get into turning your lifestyle and your sport into basically a career?
So just, like, starting out, I don't know how to explain this. Sorry, you might have to. So I went to this, like, FitCon. It's like a big event in Utah. I just kind of went, me and one of my good friends, we just decided to go because we were both, like, into, like, lifting and bodybuilding and stuff like that. So we just thought, like, it'd be a fun trip. So we went down there, and my goal for the entire trip was just to meet people, like, new people. And I love networking and just, like, getting myself out there and, like, stepping outside my comfort zone and just being like, hey, like, I'm Makenna, nice to meet you. Like, some people think it's weird, but it's like, people respect that so much more than people that just, like, walk by and they're, like, shy, you know?
Don't say anything.
And it again, it's the energy that you put out, and people are drawn to, like, good energy and just, like, high energy. So when I went to FitCon, I was just walking around and I see this company that sold their electric foam rollers. Like, I don't want this to be like an ad. I'm not gonna, like,
non-sponsored.
Non-sponsored. But so I met this company, and the people there were just super positive and super cool, and they were there to help people. And they were there to just, like, bring something new to the table, and I really liked that because I've never heard of it. So I was talking to the guy that was working at the time, and he's who I work with now, and he was like, I love your energy. Like, we need more people to, like, help, like, draw people to our booth, like, attract people. So I ended up going back the next day for the event and talking to him again, and he ended up offering me a job.
Wow.
So, I mean, obviously I had to go through, like, phone interviews with the owner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I ended up talking to him, and then a couple weeks later I had, like, a show scheduled. So it's like we work at, like, big expos and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a show scheduled, like, a couple months later, and he was like, all right, we're going to fly you out and pay for your hotel, and just, we really, like, we want you to make sure that you believe in the company and the product, and then come sell for us. So
that's awesome.
It was awesome, and I saw the opportunity and I jumped, and that's one of the things. Like, once you see opportunity and you see something that you could potentially, like, fall in love with, like, go for it. Like, don't let anyone hold you back. My family was super supportive about it. That's another thing. I know family can be, like, some family holds people back and they don't want them. I mean, sorry, anything, like, what am I trying to say? Family can, like, be scared that something will happen, or they don't necessarily think it's a good idea, but really just take the opportunity and go for it.
Exactly.
That's some advice that I would give.
I love that. I definitely agree with that one right there.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, you've done it too. Like, that, we're so similar. I
know,
like.
it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is great, and I'm so glad that my viewers are getting to see someone else like-minded with me and getting to see how successful you have been. But before we close out with the interview, I have some fun, rapid-fire questions just to get to know you.
Okay.
They're not bad,
Okay.
but it's just to get to know you a little bit more and on a personal level, not just as you as an athlete. So it'll be some really fun questions, just a few of them, just to get to know you.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
What's your go-to smoothie order or flavor?
Ooh, strawberry banana. Yeah, with protein.
With protein.
With protein.
Okay, if you could be any movie or TV character, who would you be, and why?
Oh no. Oh, is this rapid? Is this supposed to be like really
You can
fast?
take your time. It's okay.
Oh, I think Wonder Woman would be awesome. She's just like, I love that. Like, I just watched that movie like a month ago or something. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I just think that she's so empowering. Yeah, it's
She
awesome.
is. She's really empowering, and I love her too. I love that movie. And
Yeah.
I have like my actual like blender bottle is Wonder Woman.
Is it
So
really?
it's funny that
That's
you
funny.
said that.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, so if you could eat lunch with anyone, alive or not alive, who would you want to eat lunch with?
I should have prepared. Who would I eat lunch with? This is tough.
I know that's a hard question.
Does it have to? It's not gonna.
It could be anyone.
Not gonna lie, I really want to meet Billie Eilish.
I love Billie Eilish. She's so chill.
She just seems so like chill. I don't even know.
candid. Yeah.
I just think, or like, who else? There's someone. I'm trying to think. I feel like that's not the exact one that I would want to meet.
No, but this is
Honestly.
rapid fire. That's my fault. I
Okay.
didn't know these questions beforehand.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I really want to meet Thor.
Thor.
Yeah.
My little brother wants to meet Thor because he has Thor hair.
Yes.
But yes,
Oh, I love that.
Thor.
Yeah.
All right. So then, this one's also a hard one. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But if you could only listen to like one artist for the rest of your life, like working out, at just one artist, who would you
Yeah.
choose?
I'm trying to think of who I listen to a lot. I really love Khaled. Yeah, I think it's super chill.
Yeah.
It's like good, vibes.
And he has chill songs and pretty pump
And like
songs.
upbeat, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Khaled. I like Khaled. Oh, for workouts though, I really like. This is probably bad. I really like Eminem.
Eminem?
Yeah. His songs
Classic.
are so bad. Like they're good.
Yeah.
But they're so bad. I
Yeah,
love it.
he's a classic though, so
Yeah.
a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah.
And then last question, what is your favorite quote or words to live by?
It's as simple as this. Is just like. I'm trying to think. This is gonna have to be cut up. Just honestly, just stay positive. Just have a positive outlook. I should have thought of one, but just staying positive with life and just take the opportunity.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I know that you have a lot of fun content planned, and I just love following you on social media, and I'm sure everyone here would love to follow you too. So where can people find you at?
So you can follow my Instagram, Makenna_Miller11, and then I'm gonna start a YouTube channel soon, but I don't have like that name yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, if they just follow you on there, they'll be able to find it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, FunShell18, and don't forget to like the Sports with Aliyah Facebook page and to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.